Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to another video. Today we are here for episode number 77 of Goattville Updates, and it's been quite a while since the last episode. Been quite a while, not too sure exactly why. I guess I just lost track of time or something. But here we are. Hopefully that won't be too much of a problem in the future. I got some new plans for some upcoming videos, some new fresh content. I may elaborate on that a little bit more a little bit later in the video. But let's get into what I've been doing here recently on Goattville. The previous episode, I was showing off my most recent project, which I built quite a lot of in a very short amount of time. So I decided to take just a little bit of a break and work on something a little bit more simple. So what I've been doing is working on this sort of Central Park area, filling out some roads, getting ready for some new projects that will start. So yeah, first thing I did, so I just brought this road over here. So now we got an identical road right here on this other side of the theater, on the other side of this park right here. Did a little bit of work in here. I added this sidewalk, which kind of goes around this circle here, and a couple pathways right there, just to give a little bit more access to the other to the other sidewalks. And then over here, this was a little plan for what the trees in these corners were going to look like, but this is just way too small. Probably going to go with something like twice this size because, we're already dealing with something that, it's of a pretty big scale right here, so I kind of want the trees to match that. That tree is just a little bit too small, so we're going to have to make some custom ones. That's just a naturally generated one. So yeah, we're going to have to do that, and then I'll probably just make two unique trees, put one in that corner, and copy paste it over to that corner, and then just put two more ones right there, just so it doesn't look like it's cloned, even though they pretty much will. But aside from that, I've also been working on, of course, just bringing it out. I put the sidewalk here. Originally, it was just the road, but now we have an actual sidewalk that goes along here. I've been sort of modeling this in a similar way to the National Mall in Washington, D.C. I think that's a pretty nice feature to a city, so that's kind of what I've been doing here. So these empty bits of grass, they're going to have a little bit of something in there, just some like vegetation and trees, some other small things. But yeah, it's mostly just going to be an open sort of park kind of thing, and then all the way over there we're going to have some sort of victory arch, like the ones in France and Paris, Budapest, and I think Pyongyang even has one. But it's not going to be exactly like one. I'm going to, of course, have my own iteration of it. But that's probably going to be quite a while before I get to that. Mostly been working on just sort of these other simple stuff, getting it ready for the next project, which is going to go over here in this corner. But actually, we're going to get to that a little bit later because I have some other details I've done to the city. I've been putting in these little stoplights and stuff with little labels for all the different streets. All the streets in this town are named, and if we go to here, I think it's this one, we have a little address book of every single building and every single street. So you'll notice there's going to be a lot of question marks here, and that is because those are unnamed buildings or little shops or whatever, but you can see you've got quite a lot of addresses right here. Some of them were named, I think a majority of them were already named like 2 or 3 years ago. Just mostly dedicated to people who came on the world and helped me a little bit. So, we got Bahamut Street going around the perimeter. I think this is Bourne Street, and a variety of others. Over here, we call this Lag Street, which is this sort of little pedestrian style road, which goes here next to the Dan Lags tribute. But yeah, we also got a lot of other ones. Every single building now has a address that makes sense. Originally, I was going with this other concept, but now I've gone through, and we have addresses for every single building. Not every single building, but every single thing that would be deserving of an address. So, if there's a shop on the ground floor, there would be one, but then there's also an address for all the apartments up there. Or just an address for the apartment building, then the apartments will be numbered by a letter. That doesn't make too much sense, but you get what I mean. And yeah, we have this book keeping track of everything in here, and the addresses are sort of structured in a specific way. So if you take Dunkin' Donuts right here, you can just sort of look at the address and get a familiar idea to where the building would be located. The first number is sort of the area in terms of this whole map where it's going to be located. This city is number 1. And I think the suburbs, I was going with number 7, and then the city on the other side of the world was number 3 or something. So yeah, that would be the area of the world that it's in. The second number will be the streets that it's located on. So this will be the second street, and if it's an even number, it's running this way, and if it's an odd number, it's running that way. So this is an even number. It's the second street from down that way, from that part of the river. And then it's building number 0. And then if we go over here, this is building number 2, because over here is building number 1. The odd numbers are on that side, even numbers on that side. So yeah, I put a lot of work into making sure that all of these addresses are going to work. And it pretty much does work for every single thing right now. But as the city grows, I'm eventually going to sort of have to repeat some things because, of course, there's going to be a whole lot more than 10 different streets that are going through Goattville, or at least the city. So we're going to have to do a little bit of, I guess we're going to have to do some problem solving then. But until then, we're pretty much, it's doing fine as it is right now. We've also been putting on some cars all through the city. I know it doesn't look like that, but I've just been sort of building a model of a car, then just sort of copying and pasting it around all different parts. And it's going to take a long while before it fills up, but it's definitely going to be beneficial doing that process because it will really easily help me fill up these parking garages. Because all I need to do is just copy, the coordinates and then just go to a random point, /up enter, and then it will immediately paste it right there. So that's a pretty nice feature I have going. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all the progress I've done on the city. In terms of future plans, I'm not too sure if I want to get started on the next big project that I'm doing. I was thinking of sort of filling in some of the empty spaces that we have right here, doing some of the lobbies of the buildings, because all we have is the, copy-pasted apartments or offices above it. But also doing some typical standard city work, like the subway system is still very much underdeveloped, and some other things. I'm not too sure exactly what, or it's not necessarily specified now, but before I get into a big project, I was thinking of working on that. But I have been doing a lot of preparation for the next big project that we're doing, which is right over here, as I was saying earlier. And as I mentioned in the previous episode, it was going to be a stadium. I was thinking of making a stadium for quite a long time, but was not really feeling like making one just because I knew it was going to take forever and it was going to be a whole lot of work. But I've been sort of thinking of the next big project that we could be doing here, and I think this could be a pretty interesting choice. I've made a lot of stadiums in my past before I started this channel, back before I actually knew how to build, so they were pretty poor in terms of how they looked. Mostly just working on them with my brother. Here's a couple pictures of them from 2014, I think is when these ones were built. So, quite a while ago, 6 years ago. I don't even think I was in high school by that point. So yeah, I think I can make some considerable improvements to that, and I'm going to be making a baseball stadium because of that. It doesn't make too much sense. I mean, I guess it does. Mostly just because of that. That's pretty much the only reason why. It's not because, it's got universal appeal or something like that. I know it's definitely not the most popular choice for a Minecraft stadium, but I think that'd be kind of a fun little way to do it. Now, at least I'll have the best one because I'm going to put a lot of effort into planning this and making sure it is perfect. And part of that planning process is this. All right, here we are, and I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, this isn't Minecraft, and with that, you would be exactly right. We're in a program called AutoCAD, and I've been using this to sort of plan out some of my some plans for the stadium, just so that when we go to actually build it in Minecraft, I'll at least have somewhat of an idea to work on, so that it turns out literally the best that I can imagine it as. So as you can see, we got the grid on, so it looks has a little bit of resemblance to Minecraft, and we also have it in meters, so it's in actual Minecraft dimensions and stuff like that. So if I drew out something like this, that would be the actual size of a block. So I think that'd be quite nice. But here is what I've got so far, and it's by no means perfect. I've just been working on it every now and again, putting a little bit of just a little bit of additions to it. So I probably only have a couple hours actually put into this, but this is my progress so far. Pretty detailed over in this area, but maybe not so much up here in these corners. And as you can see, it's not currently a 3D model, but I do have one thing in 3D, and that is a scoreboard, just because I wanted to make sure it looked great, looked correct. But anyway, let's give you a little bit of a tour of what we got planned here so far. So as for the team name, it's probably not going to be the Goats, just because that would be completely uninspired. It would be too easy. So I'm trying to think of something a little bit more interesting. But that's just sort of a placeholder name right there. Oh yeah, all of this is in actual Minecraft dimensions. I tried my best to make sure it was perfect. So the bases here are 1 meter by 1 meter. Even though they wouldn't be in real life, they are going to be in Minecraft. The only exception is with these more abstract lines. I just sort of drew them like that, just to keep it easy. And you can also sort of see like the progression of my patience as I was starting this. So all this stuff up here is like really detailed and perfect. But as you get up here, you can see I just sort of randomly pasted in these little things right here. So I thought that was kind of funny. But anyway, for the inspirations for this, looked for a couple of real life baseball stadiums for some inspirations. The two ones I sort of drew most of these this style from is Camden Yards from Baltimore, and I think it's PNC Park in Pittsburgh. So I tried my best to sort of capture that because I think those two have a pretty nice layout for their stadium. We got sort of like a Utah Street thing going right here. It's on the other side though, simply because if I put it on this side, I feel like people would find that too obvious. So we have it here on this side. And then some of this riverside kind of thing was inspired from the one in Pittsburgh. This little squiggle line is supposed to be the river. Currently this is structured so that this way is the spawn. It'd be like going that way, So if we were to look at it like this, come on. So over here would be like the theater, and then over here would be like the train station and the zoo. So yeah, this is kind of what it would be. I'll try making like a little transition when we go back to Minecraft, just so you can, better see what it is in case I'm not explaining it well enough. But yeah, I guess we can. I always hate working these arrows. I guess we could just sort of twist it around like this. So yeah, we got a little. I guess here's where like one of the main entrances would be. This would be like the proper main entrance right here. And I don't have a lot of detail done for what this part is going to be, sort of the exterior of it, but we'll get to that eventually. It'll be fine. And then over here, sort of like the side entrance, we have a small little field right here, and then over here will be like a little waterfront view. Some stairs leading down to get to the actual side of the water there. Here's just a couple buildings here. These are very just rough estimates. I'll probably fix those up, come up with a different design later. But just it's been coming back to this every now and again, putting some random details in whatever I could think of, just to try and test out a bunch of things before wasting all my time in Minecraft. And do you see that? How on earth did that happen? The stuff that's supposed to be in the bullpen is like 30 feet down, but oh well. That'll be a simple fix. Anyway, this is just the simple thing that I've been working on, and I think I'm going to be making some future videos in this program. Actually, maybe not specifically AutoCAD, but probably Revit. You've probably heard of that. I'll be making some houses in that because I feel like that'd be kind of interesting to sort of expand beyond Minecraft. But I am probably going to be doing a lot more work in this because it will probably be my job soon. But yeah, let's go back to Minecraft and let's line this up so you can see what I mean. All right, and hopefully that transition looked good. Leave in the comments, that transition looked good. Even if it didn't, just leave that in the comments if you made it this far. So yeah, aside from the stadium, we're going to have that in the corner there. Then right here, I think we're going to make a parking lot. I think that would look kind of ugly, but I think, actually maybe we can just like do some larger parking garage or some other buildings over here, split it up so it doesn't look that terrible. I think that'd probably be a better idea. Then over here in this area, we're just going to have some more skyscrapers similar to the ones over there. And then beyond that, we do have some plans that we might get around to the zoo sometime soon, because there's going to be some new items coming to the game, including goats. So we're gonna have to include a special enclosure for them. And also the train station that hasn't been touched in 3 years, and I should really get back to it because it's one of the bigger buildings in the city. So yeah, who knows exactly what the future is going to be for both Goattville and my channel. Definitely gonna, keep working on it, but who knows how the pace will go and who knows in which direction it will go. But yeah, aside from that, I think we covered everything. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else. It has been 3 weeks, so I think we got everything, right? Right, I think we did. All right. So yeah, that'll be it for this video. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.